I love boxing. Greetings, y'all. What's up again? Kyle L. The title of this video is called Champions from the South. All right. Particularly in the heavyweight division. Okay. Heavyweight champions from the South. This is an informative video, but most importantly, a research video. But even more importantly than that, this is a challenge video. All right. Now, I'm not making this video out of any malice or hate, or I'm not trying to start any silly beefs. And this is not directed at anyone per se. This is just for us as, as YTBC members to get our research up. This is for anyone else who's just, into boxing. It's for fun. It's for recreation. It's to get our spirit up, to get our love and respect up, longing for the sweet science, but for the history of the sweet science. All right. So again, this is an open challenge to prove that any other area of America, and particularly North America, we ain't talking about Mexico and Argentina or Chile. That's a whole nother video. In North America, United States, is any other area better than producing boxing champions than the South is in the heavyweight division? Okay. Now I've heard, and they say, and boxing history holds a good case, that the Midwest is the best. But I'm here to say that the South is the best. And so this first video is going to be based in the heavyweight division. Heavyweight champions from the South. Okay, number one, Cassius Marcellus Clay, a.k.a. Muhammad Ali. Where is he born? Louisville, Kentucky. All right. He once said that Louisville, Kentucky is the greatest place on earth. And I asked him why. He said, because the greatest himself is from there. Now in Louisville, y'all, there's a museum and a cultural center in Ali's honor. All right, so if y'all passing through, stop by. Google has it rated 4.2 stars out of 5. Well, don't trust Google. Just check it out yourself. It has memorabilia there, etc., etc. Next in line, we have Ezzard Charles. He's born in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Yes, y'all right. I know what you're about to say. He was the Cincinnati Cobra, and he fought out of Ohio, but he was reared and suckled in the South. So we claiming him, all right? The Cobra was 93-25 with 52 of his wins by KO. He only had one draw. Now, I meant to tell y'all that I'm including the light heavyweight division as well, okay? I'm just going to group it in there, I guess, just for entertainment. Just to not waste any time, not to leave out the light heavyweights, because the next division will probably be middleweight or something. So I'm grouping up all heavyweight and light heavyweights, okay? And that's because of the next person I got right here. Chad Dawson, a.k.a. Awesome Chad Dawson. Then he became known to be as Bad Chad. Personally, I preferred Awesome Chad Dawson. But anyway, he from Hartsville, South Carolina, y'all, a.k.a. Kakalaki, a.k.a. Carolina, a.k.a. Cherokee, a.k.a. Sharika. But yes, y'all are right again. His family soon moved to New Haven, Connecticut, where he attended James Hillhouse High School, and of course he fights out of Connecticut. Next, we got Jimmy Ellis. He's also from the South, Louisville, Kentucky, y'all. He had the WBA title sometime in the late 60s, early 70s. It was during Ali's absence when he was suspended. So, and he won an 8-man tournament. That's right. Then he lost to Joe Frazier. Okay, he won an 8-man tournament and then lost to Joe Frazier. So he didn't have the WBA title long, but he's a heavyweight champ and he's from the South. Who we got next? Big George Foreman. Where is he from? Marshall, Texas. Now, I was kind of on the fence about this, if I should include Texas and Mizzou, because I know they teams just got added to the SEC, but just for argument's sake, I'll just keep him in the video, but, if you want to debate otherwise, I can see why. All right, Big George, he won the 68 Olympics in Mexico, but later on, of course, he trained elsewhere. He trained out of Pleasanton, California. All right, he had the record for the oldest, being the oldest champion until, of course, Bernard Hopkins came along and snapped that in two. Next champion we have from the South, Larry Holmes, y'all. All right. He was born in Cuthbert, Georgia. But of course, yes, again, I know he fought out of Eastern Pennsylvania. Larry Holmes was 69-6 with 44 KOs. He was about to beat Marciano's trumped up 49-0 record. But I think he either lost at 46-0 or 47-0. It might have been 48-0, but he was real close to breaking the record. Larry Holmes gets little credit in history. He was a precision punching champ, great jab, very efficient, and he dominated in most of his bouts when he was in his prime. Next champ from the South, we got Evander Real Deal Holyfield. He was born in Atmore, Alabama. Atmore, Alabama. But of course, we all know he fought out of Atlanta. He kept Atlanta alive and popping in the 90s, y'all. Can't tell you how much money y'all won off of him beating Tyson. But all right, the next champion, Jack the Giant Johnson, y'all. AKA the Galveston Giant, AKA, Jack the Raw Dude Johnson. I added that one in. Sorry about that, y'all. Now, I have different sources. Some say he's from Galveston, Texas, and other ones say he's from Wilmington, North Kakalaki, North Carolina again, Sharika. But we'll just say that, we'll just group that in as the South, all right? Now, Jack Johnson, man, I got to speak about him a little bit. He was wild, fearless. I mean, he was just a raw behind dude back in his time, especially during the era with the relationship that America had to, their own native son, black folks. But just to describe him shortly, Jack Johnson was kind of like a Django or a Marshall Bass Reeves of his day. He had gold teeth. He carried 2 pistols on him. He dared the KKK, the Klan, and other hate groups and people of that nature that hated black folks to step to him. They rarely stepped to him. He was just a raw-ass dude, stand-up guy. I did a little bit of reading behind, about his history back in the day. But you can see him in the ring in photos. You can see him in cars chilling. You can see him with pictures of him in his grill. You can see him in pictures of Sugar Ray Robinson. All right, next champ. We got Smoking Joe Frazier. He's from Beaufort, y'all. Low country. Beaufort, South Kakalaki. Beaufort, South Carolina. Cherokee, Sharika again, y'all. All right, now we all know he trained out of Philly. Okay, we know this. But his wife, dig this. His wife is my stepdad's cousin. So I'll just say that we distant cousins. That's how we do down here, y'all. We distant cousins, all right? R.I.P. to the late, great Joe Frazier. Oh, and that's another thing. On Philly, they put up a statue of a fictional champion in Rocky Balboa in Philly, and not one of the real champion during that time in the 60s and 70s, Joe Frazier. I remember reading the interview where Joe Frazier said that, how in the hell could the city do that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, y'all, that's a damn shame. R.I.P. to Joe Frazier. Next in line, we have Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber, y'all, from Mobile, Alabama. Y'all remember that game, the greatest heavyweights? And the heavyweights would talk trash. I used to love Joe Louis's trash talk on the game, man. His was the best. Come on, no way you gonna win. Back to the gym, son. All that good stuff. All of them were good. Ali's was good, Frazier's, Dempsey's, but I love Joe Louis's. Game was the truth on Sega Genesis, y'all. And who we got next? All right, we got Sonny Liston from San Slow, St. Francis County, Arkansas. SEC, baby. Arkansas. Now, he has an interesting story, not knowing his birth and how old he really was, being connected to organized crime and other rackets. He traveled back and forth to St. Louis, Missouri, to Mississippi to visit, his mother and her family and his father, blah, blah, blah. Finally, he landed in jail in Missouri for, armed robbery and things of that nature, and he picked up boxing there. He was 50-4, and he had 39 of his victories by KO. Next, who do we have, y'all? Ray Mercer from Jacksonville, Florida, y'all. Jacksonville, Florida. But he fought out of Fayetteville, North Kakalaki. Fayetteville, North Carolina. What y'all boy J. Cole call it? Vietnam. He won the 88 Olympic gold, the same games that Roy Jones was cheated at. But something interesting about him, he also had 2 professional fights as a kickboxer. He went 0-2, and he had 1 professional fight as an MMA artist. And he went 1-0 with 1 KO, then, he retired altogether. Next great we have from the South, Archie Moore, y'all. The old mongoose. He's from Benoit, or it's probably French pronunciation is Benoit, probably pronounced Benoit. Mississippi, y'all. M-R, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, humpback, I, y'all. Mississippi. But he later moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and in his career, he fought out of San Diego, California. And to this day, he holds the record for most KOs in boxing history, y'all, with 131. Next champ from the South, y'all, Roy Jones Jr. Y'all must have forgot. He was born in Pensacola, Florida, y'all. Pensacola, Florida. And it's right below Mobile. And it's a place, I don't know if it's in between there or a name he made up that he calls affectionately, a term of endearment, he calls that place Mobeezy. I guess it's a combination of Mobile and Pensacola. I'm not sure. Next great champ we got from the South, y'all, Floyd Patterson. He's from Waco, North Kakalaki, Waco, North Carolina. But we all know, again, with him, he fought, moved up top. He fought out of New York, and his trainer was the late, great Cus D'Amato. All right, next champion. We got Antonio Tarver. He was born in Orlando, Florida. Orlando, Florida. He was the former WBA, IBF, and what's the other alphabet belt, man? What is this? See, WBC belts. All right, he won the bronze in the '96 Olympiad, and he trained out of his home in Florida, but he did a lot of his fighting and training also as well out of Philly. Okay. Last but not least on my main list, I have Ernie Terrell. He's from Belzoni, Mississippi. And my quicker letter, y'all. Belzoni, Mississippi. He had the WBA and the NSAC, NYSAC, NYSAC, one of them alphabet organizations. But anywho, he had the WBA title most importantly, and he lost it to Ali in 67. Now on this list, y'all, I got some notables. These are people I really didn't want to mention for whatever reasons. Maybe they wanted to chew light or chew light heavyweight or chew heavyweight, or maybe I kind of thought they was a bum, but I really couldn't hate on them because they had the title or they were in title contention. So anyway, here's just a few other people that I'll put up here as notables from the South, being light heavyweight or heavyweight champs or something close to it. Okay, Jimmy Bivens. He's from Dry Branch, Georgia. But as we all know, he fought out of Cleveland, but he was born in Dry Branch, Georgia, and he passed away at 92, y'all. He passed away in 2012. I didn't know that. But he lived the old ripe age. But, like the tragic story goes, he died, broke and sickness and just, I would say miserable from what I was reading. But after boxing, he became a bakery truck driver. He divorced twice. Then he finally got it right with his third wife. But hell, she passed away in 95. Then he retired. Then he was living in his children's basement. He lost weight, was around 100 pounds. Then they said they found him down there with feces and stuff all wrapped up in his blanket. Then they took him to a nursing home. And then, he passed away at a nursing home, man. That's tragic. These great legends have to go out like that. I'm so glad that Foreman and B-Hop and, hell, maybe even Floyd can retire and live well and do well for their families, with them being such good boxers. But anyway, he was at one point in his career, Jimmy Bivens was the #1 contender for both the light heavyweight and heavyweight title. He was never ever given the title shot, y'all. Never ever. But he beat 8 previous champions at those weights. Now, after he retired, of course they do it after he retired, they gave him an honorary duration. They gave him some type of honorary title, duration title as light heavyweight and heavyweight champ. Anyway, they should have did that by giving that man the damn title shot when he was in his prime. But y'all know how the story goes. He was inducted to the Hall of Fame in 99. Next notable mention, sorry for laughing, man, but John Tate, he's from Marion, Arkansas. I just had to put him up there because he had a belt. He held the WBA heavyweight title from October 79 to March of 80. He lost in his first defense to Mike Tyson. got whooped down. But he passed away in 98, y'all, in Knoxville, Tennessee. Tanasi, y'all. Rest in peace to him and his family. And to all the boxers I mentioned, if I missed them, if they passed away, rest in peace. Love and prosperity to y'all families, man. We love y'all, and we love boxing. Okay, next honorable mention, James Smith. He's another one of these, in and out. Anyway, he's born near Kenningsville, North Sharika. Kenningsville, North Kakalaki. He had a short run. He had the title for about 4 or 5 months. It was a WBA belt. He lost it to Tyson. All right. Now, here's some other questionables, like the Spinks brothers. They from Mizzou, but they both had light heavyweight and heavyweight titles. I guess for the sake of the argument, you could throw them in there, but I can see how you wouldn't count that as the South. Okay, so they from Mizzou. You also have Virgil Hill, who had the WBA title at light heavyweight. He's from Clinton, Mizzou. He was 50-7 with 23 of his wins coming by knockout. Now, this whole Mizzou and Texas thing, I'm kind of on the line with certain parts of Texas, but, it's all based on perception. And I know they just had some teams move to the SEC. But for the sake of the argument, we'll just say Mizzou and Texas. And if you want to debate otherwise, I can see why. But while we're on it, what's the teams in the SEC? I'll just name the states because that's easier to remember. The SEC, y'all, in case you want, the Southeastern Conference, the South, you know what I'm saying? The breadbasket is Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, baby, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and then they added in some teams from Texas and they added in Mizzou. So, but the original SEC is all those teams before Texas and Mizzou. All right. All right. Next few notables I have is Joe Knight, the Cairo Calamity. He's born in Cairo, Georgia. Now, he didn't even win the title. He was awarded the NBA title that was recognized at that time in 1934, but he soon lost it that same year to some joker named Bob Godwin. Okay. Next up, we got Willie Pastrano. He was born in Louisiana, y'all. Peace to the NOLA. He fought and held the light heavyweight championship belt for what? See, it says he held it for 2 years, from 63 to 65. His record was 62-13 with 8 draws. All right, next we got Reggie Johnson. He's from Houston, Texas. I think he was a light heavyweight champion. I'm not sure. Now, another very important notables I have is 2 guys that we all know very well. Number 1, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. I bet y'all didn't know. He was born in Memphis, Tennessee, y'all. He's born in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout outs to Orange Mound. Now, we all know he's the Motor City Cobra. We know that. But as a youth, his family moved to Michigan, and then he later found the late, great, rest in peace, Emmanuel Stewart, and, worked out of the Kronk gym and all that good stuff. But in 87, y'all, Hearns scored either 5 or 6 knockdowns against the light heavyweight champ, Dennis Andres. And Hearns actually won the WBC light heavyweight title with a 10th round TKO in Detroit, Michigan. And bump Pacquiao and bump all these other contemporary dudes. Hearns was the first fighter to win a world title in 5 different weight classes. Way before Pacquiao, way before whoever the hell else you can think of. And all these other dudes that move up in weight, y'all, I don't know, man. I really don't give much credit to these dudes that move up in weight and try to snag a weak belt from a paper champion. Again, here's another name, Sugar Ray Leonard. He's from North Kakalaki, North Carolina, but he did a similar thing. I think he moved up to light heavyweight, but I think he fought at a catchweight. I'm not sure. I got to double check. Y'all double check me. But look, we all know these jokers weren't really light heavyweights. Hearns and Leonard and whoever else did that little trick. But they were doing it for legacy, and it looks good on paper. And maybe they even did it for a challenge or a payday. Man, I guess I should give him credit for jumping in at that weight, even though they probably cherry picked and had catch weights. And you know what, man, that is bullshit, man. I'll just give them credit for having courage just to really just get in the ring. All right, we all know they wasn't really light heavyweight champions. Last but not least, Champ from the South, that's a light heavyweight or heavyweight. We got Tavoris Cloud. I say Tavares, but he got the VOR thing going. So Tavoris Cloud. He born in Tallahassee, y'all. The capital. Tallahassee, Florida. Tallahassee, Florida. He was the IBF light heavyweight champ. And, he ain't been looking too good lately, y'all. 3 straight losses, all of them by KO or TKO. And I heard this might be the dude that Sergey Kovalev is trying to fight next. I hope not. Because, obviously, it's obvious cherry pick. The dude wasn't able to rebound from the first KO loss, and he got 3 in a row. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure, I'm not sure. But to end this video out, we're great heavyweight champs from the South, or light heavyweight champs. I don't think the Midwest, I don't think the West, I don't think the Northeast, I don't think the Northwest can beat this resume of champs. But to end it out, y'all, up and coming. I got one up and coming. Deontay Wilder. Okay? He's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We had the Brown Bomber with Joe Louis. Now we got the Bronze Bomber. Bomb Squad. I'm not saying he's going to win. We all got to see. But if he don't win, come this weekend, he's definitely going to be a heavyweight champion soon. Okay? Now, to whoever wants to respond to this in closing, in y'all defense, okay, some of these great boxing champions in all weight classes now claim their place of birth as where they're from, while others claim where they grew up as where they're from. All right, so some claim, where they were born is where they're from. Some claim where they grew up as where they're from. But in this video, I repeat, in this video, I'm only claiming boxers who were born here in the South. That's it. I'm only claiming boxers that were born here. So not ones that were born elsewhere and then raised here. Okay? So if they were born in Georgia and raised on the moon, I'm claiming them. If they were born in Tennessee and it was raised in California, I'm claiming them. Okay? Now, even though I should include people that were born elsewhere and raised here, but I didn't. Okay? To make this will make the argument interesting. And again, this is for the heavyweight, light heavyweight division. Maybe I should just omit Texas and Mizzou as a whole. But anywho, tell me what y'all think. And we'll see if anyone has a counter case, a counter argument, counter debate. Y'all appreciate y'all listening. The South got the juice when it comes to heavyweight champs. And we're going to find out if we got the juice in other weight classes. I got to do some more research. All right. And y'all be good now, you hear? All right, YTBC. Peace.